Hi, I'm Ken Ham, President of Anston Genesis, the Creation Museum and the Ark Encounter. We're here under Noah's Ark. And I want to do this live broadcast just to help you see we're putting the finishing touches on things. Yes, it opens to the public July 7. Basically, most of the stuff we're doing right now is cosmetic in that way. They're just getting the queue lines, that's what I call them, queue lines. They're getting the queue lines finished here. And we're underneath the Ark. So let me just show you, you can see they're getting the barriers in, and because they got them all here, it's just a matter of just installing these now. And see some of the props they're putting in, some of the storage boxes that Noah had ready. We see over here an easel, and as if Noah they're planning the Ark. The attention to detail is absolutely astounding in this place. It really is. You can see the reflection of me and our videographer right there. Look at that. You can see who's videoing for me. And then there's the model of Noah's Ark right there. Of course, the same as what we built here, as you can see. And as people come in here, well, I'll show you, we're right beside the ramp. The ramp in itself, I think the ramp is an attraction over here, the big ramp. I mean, the timber work is amazing. I've had walk people up here, and they just want to stop and look at the ramp. And it's so solid, and it is in keeping with the whole theming of the place. You know, we just didn't put a cement ramp here or anything. This is a phenomenal ramp system. And so as we come back around here, look over on some of these big concrete posts here, you see the monitors on the wall. We actually hide some actors, and there's a program that plays here. People aren't going to want to leave the queue lines until they've watched the program, but the program, we have these actors acting as a tabloid reporter and the team that's with her before the flood, and they're interviewing Noah and scoffing at Noah. It's quite humorous and it's quite captivating. As I started to watch it, I thought if I was watching this in the queue lines, I wouldn't want to leave the queue lines. I'd want to see the end of it. But anyway, we have monitors all the way down here. Let's go for a little walk down here. Oh, you'll get a real sense of being under the Ark here. Of course, we have fans and heaters for the winter because this is a year-round facility. We're not closing down for winter. And you can see all the speakers up there as well. Once they get these queue lines ready, we'll take all the plastic off, and they've already got the video ready to run. Let's see if we can come down. The ramp, well, actually this is interesting. You think of some of the places you line up at some of the parks, theme parks around the world, and I'm thinking of Disney, even Universal, where you line up outside and then you go inside. Here, you line up under the Ark, so it's all protected under here, and there are fans and heaters under here, and then the ramp goes up. It's between the two towers that the Ark is anchored to. Actually, it's anchored to 3 towers, so it's between the east tower and the middle tower. Inside, you see the ramp system. We'll show you a little closer look at this. On the outside, you can see they've got all those wood slats there. So this is really, in a sense, it's outside, but it's inside. And you see they have fans up there and lights up there and heaters up there too. So we're protecting people from the elements, yet it's outside, but it's inside. So there you are. I think that's even staggering. People are going to be staggered by just seeing that. Opening July 7, just putting the final touches on things now, getting things done. We've still got Friday, Saturday, Monday's a holiday over here, vacation day, because it's July 4th, and we have a lot of contractors and a lot of our own staff and designers. They're going to be working all through the July 4th weekend, so there won't be a vacation day for many of them. Pre-purchase or purchase here. You know what, you can do either. Just turn up and you can get your tickets at the ticket booth in the parking lot. You don't have to purchase them online. A lot of people are, but you don't have to. For the first 40 days, we have 40 daytime entries and 40 nighttime entries. And the daytime entry is 9 to 4, and evening time is 5 to midnight. That's for the first 40 days and 40 nights. At the Creation Museum, we're going to have extended hours for those 40 days from 9 a.m. through to 9 p.m. We might be able to, over here, might be able to zoom up a bit, and you see part of the parking lot in the distance over there, and you can see some buildings there, brown, tan looking buildings. They're the ticket booths over there. And you get on shuttle buses and then you come down a mile shuttle road. There's 4,000 car spaces there, 4,000 spaces in the parking lot. I I've been on that shuttle road. Our beautiful buses that we have over there, that were constructed in California, our shuttle buses, they can seat 38, but you can have 84 people in them. And they're kneeling buses, the ones that go down at the front. They have ramps so that you can get wheelchairs and strollers and so on them. They come over here and we'll take you for a walk up where the guest services building is, where you can rent wheelchairs and strollers. And I might even walk over there and show you that, because it's strange. One of the most asked questions I've been asked is it handicapped accessible? And I keep thinking, why do people ask that when these days everything you build has to be ADA compliant? And I think I know, this is my theory, because it's one of the top questions that even our customer service are getting. And I was thinking, it's very possible that because we're recreating Noah's Ark, people have the idea that you're going to have to climb up ladders to get into it or something like that. But it was designed as a real wooden ship, but then built as a building to code so that millions of tourists can come through. So let's go out here and have a look. This is, they've got the soil ready to dump in here. This is the Serpentine Walk where people walk in, and there's going to be a garden here eventually too, but we'll get the soil in there so that we'll have that there for opening. And then out the front here, you can see this is where the ramp will be that goes up to the door on the side of the Ark. But this is not for the public. This is when we have parades down the road. We'll have parades with Noah and his family and the animals and so on. And you can have a look down here. You can see they've got everything ready for that. You can see that they've got the piers in the ground, and you can see that where people, the parade will walk up here. We'll just take you up here to show you, so you get the idea. See these piers down here, and you can see this ramp here. So this is not going to be open obviously when we open, and this is something we'll do later on. We just got all the foundations set there, so there's going to be a ramp that goes all the way up there to that door in the side of the Ark, and then we'll have parades with people dressed as Noah and his family, people dressed as animals, and they'll come in here and go up there, and hey, it'll be a better parade than Disney, in my opinion, has. So you can look at the stern here now. You can see all the planking on this side is finished. So let's just walk up there, actually cleaning off all the blacktop. There were some people that thought that maybe we had a long way to go and it wasn't finished, looked like all gravel roads. That was just all the dust on top of the blacktop. We've got blacktop all the way around here. The zoo is finished at the back, and we've already got some animals in the zoo, and we've got more animals arriving Monday. The camel rides and donkey rides might be a week or two later. Just what depends what happens there. Just the piles of gravel here, this is ready for just putting in that area where all those piers are. They're just doing that here this afternoon. You see they've hydroseeded around the lake. And the zipline course, let's look back over this way, and we can see the zipline course. I think they've got 15 zip lines ready now. We can have a look here. See that tower? That tower is about 8 stories high. And the valley over here, let's walk over and show you this valley. And on the way out here, you can see more of the zipline towers over here. There's a challenge course over there. I think they've got 15 zip lines ready. Some of the zip lines are over 2,000 feet long. And you can zip across this valley. I don't know whether I'm going to be game to do that. I've done the zip lines at the museum, but this one, I don't know whether you can see how deep this valley is. We might be able to give you a little inkling here. If you look down here, you get an idea. Okay, it goes down there, then it goes down deeper again, down beyond those trees. And over the other side here, you can see the ticket booths over there, and you can see the road that comes down, part of the parking lot, actually right through the trees here. I don't know how far we can zoom up. That's where we have our buses, our shuttle buses parked right now. They're all beautifully wrapped. You might be able to get a little glimpse of them in a distance there. Now let's see, I don't know how we'll go for focus on this, but from this tower here, if you follow across, you might be able to see that zip line that goes right across that valley, right over the creek, right over the shuttle road, right over to that tower you see over there. There's some other towers there, and then you can zip right over just to the left of where the shuttle buses are, we see a couple of towers. You might be able to see those. You can zip over to those towers and zip back and forwards through the woods, and then over this ridge here, over the other valley on the other side. Absolutely staggering. I don't know where you could, where can you zip beside Noah's Ark across a valley, jumping off about, well, you're going to jump off about 7 stories up. That's quite remarkable. So let's go over here. We'll give you a little scan of the Ark here. They're actually out of the door in the side of the Ark. They're taking out a lot of the trash right now, getting it all out. We have a large group of cleaners that we brought in. I'm not sure how many there are. I mean, I saw 50, 60 of them. There's probably more than that. And they're going to be here 24 hours a day for the next 3 days. Get all the sawdust out. I mean, they've already taken most of the trash out and cleaned the floors and buffed them all up and get them all ready. And so we're doing a lot of work right now, working through, as I said, the July 4th weekend. And then as we come up here, Instant Gardens, our horticulturalists are planting plants there around the front of the lake. Eventually we'll have plants around the lake and that too, but you know, like at the Creation Museum when we opened, it's taken a few years to get all the plants to grow, but we're doing remarkable here. The zoo has a beautiful series of trees, big trees that we put in. We had ability to obtain these massive trees for a very inexpensive price, which is really good. And you can see they're putting instant trees up here too on the circle. So as we come up towards this, you can feel free to ask me some questions if you want them. So as we come up here, we see, yeah, they're getting more plants planted there. There's a viewing platform here. We'll see if we can get a close-up of this. So I'll get our videographer to do this. And the viewing platform, it's concrete blocks, but at the same time, concrete blocks, and they're cast off a barn in Kentucky somewhere. So it looks like wood, but it's concrete. So let's go over here. We can see them working on this here. We'll come over here. This will be one of the cell phone place, one of the, what I say, selfie spots. That's what I meant to say. Standing right here. So let's have a look at this. See how it looks like wood? It's cast off of wood from a barn in Kentucky. And so it looks like real wood, and you can see all the different boards. They're all different, and yet it's concrete. I tell you, the attention to detail in this place is mind-boggling. You see at the back there the restaurant? The restaurant, 1,500 seat restaurant, which is dwarfed by the Ark. I think that's 1,500 seats, dwarfed by the Ark. And the restaurant, when you walk inside, it's an exhibit in itself. It's got big timbers in there that are amazing in itself, but not only that, not only the big timbers, but as you go in there, there is a display of taxidermy of animals from around the world that I think Bass Pro and Cabela's would be jealous of. I really do. It is amazing, absolutely amazing. So we can see, we're looking at the Ark here, they're putting the rest of the planking on the sail. You can see them up there right now. They'll get that done Friday, Saturday, get that finished up. They're just putting the rest of the roof on the 1,500 seat restaurant, and they got some more railings to go on the front there. There were no railings on the restaurant yesterday, and now they got railings all around one side and halfway across the front. If we, let me see, we'll come around here, and you'll be able to maybe get a close-up of those railings. so they're really working hard. So you can see the railings down there, and they've got the roof structure done. They're just putting the tiles on the roof now, getting that done. So, well, it's all coming together.
Will all attractions for the Ark and Museum be open on the 7th?
Will all attractions for the Ark and Museum be open on the 7th? So, inside the Ark, yes. Now we're going to add some things over time. We've got space in the bow and the stern to add some things, but I would say all the exhibits that we prepared to put in are going to be in and opened, and it's on all 3 decks, and it's going to be amazing. People say how long to spend in there. I tell you, I think people are going to come here for a day and say we need to come back for a second day. That's what I think. At the Creation Museum, many people spend a day, because by the time you do a planetarium program and the special effects theatre, and if you do the walkthrough, the museum, and then you want to spend time in the insectorium, I mean, a lot of people say a day is even not enough for that, but a minimum of 1 day at the Ark, 1 day at the Creation Museum. So the Ark will be open, all 3 decks, all the exhibits. At the back of the Ark, the zoo will be open, and the petting zoo is part of the zoo. Not all of that will be open when we open, but the zoo will be open with a lot of unique animals there. I think zebras, kangaroos, yaks, armadillos. We got alpacas and llamas there already. And so it's unique animals. We're going to have animal programs throughout the day as we get on more and more as well, all from a biblical perspective. So we see here, again, looking at the Ark itself, we can look up, we can see a guy on the roof up there near the sail. He's starting to put the planking on the outside of that sail. Look at the size of that guy there, and then we'll scan along here. There's some others who are doing some final touches up there on the roof. Look at the size of those guys compared to the structure itself. You've got to come here to see it. There's no way of explaining it, no way of explaining the inside. Today I was interviewed by local Channel 5. I was also interviewed by NBC Nightly News. So NBC Nightly News are, they're not sure when that's going to be on, maybe Friday night, but because of Istanbul, sometimes these things get knocked out and we'll go on another night, maybe on the weekend or by Monday. We'll put it on my Facebook or social media. They'll let us know when it's going to actually be featured. But they were here for quite a while, and I also have done a couple of radio interviews today. We have media coming out of our ears for the next few days. I think there's about 200 credentialed media coming here next week for the opening, and they're coming from all over the world. I believe this is going to be a major attraction in the world. People can just turn up, or you can get your tickets here. Have you got another question there?
Is there a discount for pastors and their families?
You know, for information on ticket prices, go to arkencounter.com. Arkencounter.com is where you go for information on ticket prices. I think we're adding 2 new options today. We've added some options. I think today we actually add, if it's not already done, it'll be done by the end of the day, an annual pass option, because people have been asking about that, and a 2-day ticket to the Ark as well. The price is really inexpensive compared to other theme parks. It is very inexpensive, and you know, I've paid $120 or $30 to go to Disney, and you line up in long lines in the sun and the heat, and you spend, you have 4 rides and spend money on meals and go home. Here, you'll come in, you'll go through these phenomenal queue lines, a program there, into the Ark. The Ark itself, just looking around the outside, it's not like it's just a building you go in. The Ark is an exhibit. You just want to stand here and look at that and get photos, and then to go inside and up through all 3 decks. The lumber work inside, the timbers, it's an exhibit. And then all the exhibits, you're going to be astounded. You're going to be amazed.
Will it have dinosaurs?
Will it have dinosaurs? You're going to have to come and see. But remember, technically, there were no dinosaurs in Noah's day, because the word dinosaur wasn't invented till 1841. But okay, here's a hint, all right? The Bible tells us God made all the kinds of land animals, all the sorts, beside Adam on day 6. and 2 of each kind, 7 of some, went on board Noah's Ark. And by the way, you're going to come face to face with some animals you have never seen before, some of them that are extinct in the fossil record, animals I've never heard of. Some of our researchers have done so much research, and they've never been modeled, as far as we know, as life-size models before. It's going to be intriguing for people. And then the life-size figures of Noah and his family, I was just looking at some of them, and some of them that are animatronic, and they're being installed today and tomorrow, and then on Saturday. They left them to the last minute till they got the whole place clean. They look so lifelike. They look like real people. I was up there today, and you feel like talking to them. They look so real. Just amazing. And Noah and his family represent all skin shades. We've got light through to dark and middle brown. We have them sort of a range of skin shades. So, any other questions?
Will the Ark be open year-round?
Will the Ark be open year-round? Yes, it's a year-round facility. Of course, we won't be open on Christmas Day or Thanksgiving Day, but it'll be open all year-round other than those 2 days. Normal operating hours will be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., though we will adjust according to what we think is happening with the crowds. So we can adjust the times, and we'll announce that on the arkencounter.com website. But for the first 40 days, we have daytime and evening time entry. So it'll be 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then 5 p.m. to midnight. And you can get tickets for either daytime or evening time, or buy the 7-day unlimited, consecutive unlimited ticket. And for 7 days, the parking is included, because parking at the Ark Encounter here on the massive parking lot is $10, but includes parking and unlimited visits. You can come daytime, nighttime, during the 40 days, 40 nights, but any other time you can come whenever the Ark is open, whenever the museum is open, go back and forward all you want. And as I tell people, look, consider Northern Kentucky as a vacation destination, because you have some wonderful facilities here. They're not Christian facilities like the Ark is and the museum is, but they're wonderful facilities. The Newport Aquarium, it's one of the best in America. The Cincinnati Zoo, it's one of the top in America. Also, Kings Island, it's considered one of the best roller coaster parks in America. And then we have the Dayton Air Force Museum, which I consider is the best Air Force museum in the world, better than the Smithsonian. You've got the Kentucky Horse Park, the only one of its kind in the world. You've got Mammoth Caves not far from here. Hey, you could come and spend your vacation here in Northern Kentucky, and it'd be something different that many people have never thought of. I think when you do, you're going to find it amazing. I really do. This is a great area. It's a beautiful area. All the rolling hills of Kentucky that we have here. And Williamstown is going to come alive like never before. Williamstown here. We're halfway between Cincinnati and Lexington. And so the Creation Museum is 45 minutes from the Ark Encounter. We have another question?
Are there hotels close?
Hotels close by. Okay, so two exits north on Interstate 75. So we're right on Interstate 75 here. Exit 154 in Kentucky off Interstate 75, which is the second busiest north-south interstate in America. And we're at exit 154, halfway between Cincinnati and Lexington. So 2 exits north is Dry Ridge. There's a couple of hotels there. There's a few hotels there. But then 30 minutes north in northern Kentucky, around the airport, around Florence, Erlanger, Kentucky, in the greater Cincinnati area there, in the south part of the loop, just across the river from Cincinnati. And of course you got Cincinnati with all the big hotels there. And then if you go south from here, 30 minutes south is Georgetown, where they have the biggest assembly plant in America. It's the second biggest Toyota plant in the world, and this is the biggest assembly plant in America. And by the way, tours through that are free. You have to book up for them. You've got to sign up for them, and you can. They're free, and it is fantastic. I've taken my grandkids there. I've gone there many times, taken guests there to do a tour through the Toyota assembly plant. It is amazing. You have to look it up online, and you have to book your tours. As I said, free, but you got to book because you can just go in there and see if someone cancels, but it is so popular. It's usually booked out, and you won't get in if you just turn up. But anyway, if you go, so 30 minutes south, Georgetown, there's hotels there. And then if you go a few minutes past that, Lexington, near the Kentucky Horse Park, there's hotels in Lexington as well.
Open on Sundays?
Yes, we are going to be open on Sundays. The museum is, Creation Museum is open from midday to 6 p.m. on Sundays, but the Ark and the museum are going to be open the normal operating hours on Sundays. We'll have daytime and evening time entry. It'll be part of the 40 days and 40 nights here at the Ark, and then it'll be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or whatever we determine, depending on the day. Because a lot of people are going to come into these areas. A lot of Christians will want to go to church on Sunday and then come to the Ark. A lot of non-Christians who won't go to church will come here, and they'll get a phenomenal message when they come here. And hopefully that'll then get them to go to a church. So this is for the church. It's for God's people around the world. It presents the gospel. It's not like they're coming here to do roller coasters or something. They're coming here to learn about God's Word, which is exactly what we do in our local churches. So, another question?
Any future plans for the Tower of Babel?
Yes, phase 2, which we want to start pretty soon after this opens. Phase 2 is going to be the walled city. Actually, if you look back here, beyond those flags there, this is the circle where the shuttle buses come around, but you look beyond those flags and you see a screen fence there. So outside there, and the other side of the screen fence, we'll be starting work on the walled city, a village where Noah lived, and there'll be a blacksmith shop, and it'll have lots of different stores and things that we think might have been there in Noah's day. And then the next phase after that, we might even do a first century village at the same time, continue on doing that, and then the next phase will be the Tower of Babel as well, and that's going to have a lot of teaching in it too, about one race and about all the descendants of Ham, Shem and Japheth and that sort of thing.
How do we educate the public on the tax accusations? So many Christians...
How do you educate the public on the tax accusation? That's an interesting one. I was on NPR radio today debating with Barry Lynn from the Americans United for the Separation of Church and State, and you know what? It does not matter how much you say to some of these people and how much you explain it, they just don't seem to want to even know. And what it comes down to, and it was very clear in the NPR interview, it was Kentucky National Public Radio, so the Kentucky station, NPR, they'll have a podcast up, I'm not sure when, maybe it'll be there by tonight, and of the debate between me and Barry Lynn. And they also invited on the the Deputy Commissioner for Tourism and Travel in Kentucky, and they asked him point blank, how many dollars has the Ark received from the government? He said 0. And then he explained the tax incentive that it's offered to any tourist facility that brings tourism into the state, and you're appraised, you have to apply for it, they have consultants check you out, and if you're going to bring millions of dollars into the state, what they do is this, the sales tax you generate within your facility. So the facility itself generates this money. The sales from the sales tax you generate in your facility, you get a rebate on that starting a year after you opened. You have to pay for your whole facility on your own, and you've got to be open for a year, and then they'll give you a rebate on that sales tax only, the one from in your facility, as a thank you. They do this sort of thing all across the country. They give incentives to companies. If you come in here, we'll cut your tax here, or we'll come in here, we'll give you this incentive, or we'll cut down these taxes, or do this or do that. Well, this is a brilliant concept here in Kentucky, and so many tourist facilities have taken advantage of it. Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville, the Speedway, which is about 45 minutes from here, Kentucky Speedway, the Bourbon Distillery Museum. And I'll tell you what, a number of the tourist facilities in Kentucky that have received the tourism tax incentive will not have the economic impact that this is going to have. And people don't seem to understand it. One lady, if you listen to that NPR radio debate today on the Kentucky NPR station, one lady called in and she actually said that because of us, they were going to have to, Kentucky was going to lose money because they're going to have to pay us money and her tax dollars being used. I mean, I don't know, there's no cure for that, because she told me I wasn't being truthful and I wasn't telling the truth. And I mean, we had the Deputy Commissioner for Tourism on who explained it all, and that is, and to put it this way, let me use my arms. The Ark Encounter is going to bring this much money into the state of Kentucky. In fact, The economic impact study we had done by outside consultants predict over 10 years up to $4 billion into the state of Kentucky. And so what Kentucky says is, you're going to bring in all this money to the state of Kentucky to get you to build here. We'll give you a rebate on sales tax that you generate in your facility because you are here. And that amounts to, okay, this much money we bring in. See this little bit here? See it between my fingers? So they give us that much money because we bring this much in. It's a tremendous boost. And also the economic impact study said that this will probably generate up to 20,000 jobs over 10 years. Most of the jobs are not even inside the Ark. Most of the jobs are created in the service industries outside, just as has happened with the Creation Museum. The tourism group in Northern Kentucky said the Creation Museum impacts Northern Kentucky to the extent of $60 million a year. The Ark is going to be way beyond that, way beyond that. And anyway, the museum is going to be greater because it's predicted by our research that the attendance at the museum will double, so its economic impact will double. I mean, this is such a boon for the state of Kentucky. It's all because of our Christian message. If you actually listen to the debate, you'll hear Barry Lynn mocking me for believing in a young earth and so on. And you know, the interviewer told me, don't bring up science, we don't want to talk about that, and we don't want to talk about the theology, you just want to talk about the tourism tax incentive. And so that's all I did, and yet Barry Lynn kept, these people that believe in 6,000 years, and they're going to have people come who believe in, and they're going to try to teach them 6,000, and he was mocking me. You could tell the prejudice just shine through. His prejudice against our message. That's what it's all about. See, Christians are not second-class citizens. If a secular business can get a tourism tax incentive because they build a big tourist facility, why can't we do it even though we have a Christian message? What's the difference? And people say, oh, separation of church and state, which is not in the Constitution, by the way. No, they're misunderstanding. We're not talking about government speech, we're talking about private speech. The government can't discriminate. And when the government offers a program to all businesses, they can't say you can't have it because you're not a Christian. And you know, there were even some pastors that were with the Americans United for Separation of Church and State with their, they tried to intervene in our lawsuit, and you know, the federal judge ruled totally in our favor. We went to court over this, totally in our favor based on the First Amendment. But there were even a couple of pastors who stated in the Americans United intervention, where amicus brief they actually did, because the court allowed them to do that, which is, you know, they could put in some statements if they wanted to, and they said, we don't want any of our Kentucky taxpayer money, we don't want one dime of our money going to the Ark. That's why we're against this incentive. Well, okay, if you do not want $1 of your money going to the Ark, do not come. It's as simple as that. Because as soon as you come and buy a ticket, some of your money, well, your ticket money goes to the Ark. But if you don't buy a ticket, zero of your tax dollars, zero, go to the Ark. And most of the people coming here, anyway, 85% of them are going to be outside of Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky. I get so tired of these misrepresentations, of these false accusations that we hear over and over again. And you know, that lady that called up today, no matter what I told her, I mean, I came to a stage where I said, well, there's no point. There's no point. I can't say anymore. You know, the commissioner, the deputy commissioner for tourism told you, I've told you, I don't know what else you can say. She was insisting that it was costing her taxpayer money for us to be here. It's just, what a load of nonsense. There's no cure for that.
What address should people put in the GPS to get here?
Okay, address to put in the GPS. Okay, let me explain this to you. If you use Google Maps would be the best right now, because we know the address is on Google Maps. If you use Google Maps, type in Ark Encounter Drive, Williamstown. Ark Encounter Drive, because we've actually registered, when you turn into the parking lot, we call that Ark Encounter Drive, and it's actually registered as official road, Ark Encounter Drive, and it actually is on Google. Now it'll get on Garmin and on the other map places soon too, but we're not sure when to go. I know for sure it is on Google Maps, and so Ark Encounter Drive, so you can put that in. Otherwise, you exit 154 Williamstown, Kentucky. Exit 154. So if you're coming north, from Florida, Atlanta, you know, down. So you're coming north on Interstate 75, come to exit 154, you come off on exit 154, turn left across the freeway, and that just will take you right around to the parking area on Route 36. Route 36. If you're coming south from, you know, Canada down through Cincinnati, down through Florence, Kentucky, and come south on 75, exit 154, you come off right onto Route 36 and turn right there, and just up a little bit on the left, you'll see, you can't miss it. There's a massive sign going to be out the front, and the parking lot is so big you cannot miss it, right there on your left.
What does the community think of the Ark?
What does the community think of the Ark? You know, there's always some naysayers, doesn't matter where you are, but the community is excited because Williamstown is in need of an economic boost in this area, and this is going to really be great. There's going to be a lot of development occur at the interchange, and I can see Williamstown, it might take a year or two, but I could see it becoming a real quaint tourist town. I can see that happening. There's already a lot of people expressing interest. I think a lot of people are waiting to see what happens. I think they're going to be astounded by the thousands and thousands that come. But the majority, the people that I meet around Williamstown, they are excited. They're excited that this is happening. It's going to be a real lift because there's going to be extra money for the schools, extra money for the library, extra money for the county, from all the taxes. We also set this up so that we pay property tax. Even though we could have been exempt from property tax, we didn't set it up that way because we want to do our part in helping the community. So this is going to be a real boost to this area, and I get a lot of people even from Williamstown who watch these live broadcasts, and they go on there and tell me how excited they are. Any other questions? No other questions? Well, I'll tell you what, I think we'll end the live broadcast here. I thought it'd be good to do this for you, and we're just days from opening now. You can see over here they're cleaning off all the blacktop. See that now from all the construction traffic. We're putting the final touches on. We have cleaning crews in the Ark. A lot of the exhibits are already installed. The rest of them get installed over the next 2 days. And in fact, most of them are already installed. I went through there today. I was just amazed. Amazed. I could spend hours in there, days in there myself. And they're putting the finishing aspects on the cafe, the 1,500 seat cafe. The zip lines are ready. For the first part of the zip lines are ready. So they're putting in the gardens here at the front. Can you tell I'm excited? Yeah, I'm excited. July 7, and if you're coming on July 7, you come up at exit 154, to make it more authentic, the atheists decided they're going to have a protest that day, and the state gave them permission to be on a piece of ground the state owns between the off-ramp going south and the Interstate 75. So, I don't know, last I saw they got maybe 60 protesters there. It's not surprising the atheists are protesting. They don't believe in God, and they reject the Bible. And so they don't want Christians having a facility like this that gets the message out. Fancy Christians building a facility like this, it's equal to, I think, better than, it's actually beyond Hollywood, because this is real inside, it's real, the timber's all real, it's not fake timber. And the exhibits, I think you'll see, they're beyond what Hollywood does. Fancy Christians having a facility like this to get the message out. You know, that's why there's all this misinformation about the tax incentive too. It's all prejudice because of who we are and what our message is. So, with that, you'll see it's real authentic on July 7 as you come and see the scoffers right there. But we need to pray for them. And it's going to be a hot day for them too on July 7, and we've already got some people have said to us, well, why don't you take them water? We've already got somebody lined up to do that, to take them water. And you know what, we need to pray for them and pray that God will open their hearts. So why else would they be worried about this, except to me they're under conviction. I mean, as an atheist, why would they care? Why does it matter? But to them it matters, and I believe it's because in their heart they know that it's true. That's what it's all about. Okay, so signing off here from Williamstown, Kentucky, getting ready for the July 7th opening to the public, and we'll start to see thousands of people coming here to Williamstown, Kentucky in the United States of America.